And we are live here from Sebring, where I am super excited to see these guys take on this racetrack here in the Road and Plate Palm Rat Golf Series. I'm not so sure how well stock cars are going to handle at this track, but it's going to be very exciting with these guys on this track in this race. And what better place than to have a road and plate race than right here at Sebring. I'm Joshua Coppernell. I'm joined by Adam Kuhn. Adam, how you doing tonight?
Doing well, excited for this race, like you mentioned. It's been a fun practice session to watch the tail end of here, so I think it's going to be a really interesting sprint race. Get us ready for the future tonight. I'm doing well, excited to watch some road racing tonight with these stock cars, as there's big issues on this practice lap.
We're just kind of in a scenic camera right now, not seeing any chaos. However, I'm guessing by my track map it had something to do with Tom Went. But this is going to be the full course that, if you're used to watching IMSA, 12 Hours of Sebring, this is the same course they use. And I've turned a lot of laps here, but all of them have been in an LMP2, not a stock car. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys, really handle this track with this car. It's not something I'm sure a lot of these drivers are used to doing. But I'm here for it. Looking forward to this. And Dustin Bawley currently sitting top of the board, a 205.711. It's going to be long laps to get around here. But remember, these are timed races. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, seeing these guys above the 2-minute mark, no surprise to me. It's like you mentioned, the full course layout. It's very tricky to get a grasp of in a normal road car. So, as we'll see in this heat race, I'm sure it will be it's gonna be one heck of a show for all of us to see them try and grasp in a stock car here, the ARCA car no less, as the checkered waves in this practice session going to move us into qualifying.
Well, that actually was qualifying, the way that they do it here in the
Oops.
Road and Plate. It is a different format. The way they do it in Road and Plate for the road races is a very short practice session and a long qualifying session. So that is qualifying. Drivers are going to hit the grid. And while they're doing that, we're going to take a look at the starting grid. And with that being said, it is Dustin Bawley on the pole with Michael McCoy to his outside in second. Third place, you have Ryan Campbell and Evan Hoopchak going to start in fourth. Fifth place, Joseph Klein, and Matt Slosher will start sixth. Seventh, it is Jay Bast. Chuck Labano will start eighth. Ninth, Laura Wiseman, and James Moore will start in 10th. Adam.
Daniel Ott's going to grid in 11th with Larry Johnson 12th. Peter D. Stewart lines up 13th with Dylan Butler 14th. Samuel Stoner lines up 15th with Jacob Phillips alongside him. Aaron Bray starts 17th with Christopher Logan 18th. And then row number 10, Robert Brobst in the 5 and Greg Rogers in 20th.
21st is going to be Sean Campbell. Chris Winslow will start 22nd. 23rd, Tom Went. Mark Royce will start 24th. And he's registered. I don't know if he's racing, but Aaron Smith scheduled to start from the last position. We'll see. Aaron Smith, he has won the last two road course races this season. Aaron Smith has won so many road course races in this league before, previous seasons. I'm not seeing him on the grid. So we might have a Aaron Smithless race as the pace car is rolling. This track, it is 3.6 miles in length. It's going to take us a while to get back around to the green flag. But the field is rolling. And we will be green very soon. Ambient air temperature is 84 degrees. Track temp 104 degrees. Wind blowing southeast at 11 miles an hour. And in sim time, it is 4:59 p.m.
One thing that's going to be very crucial on the start of this heat race, Josh, and the feature as well, but it comes into fruition right away at the drop of the green flag. The long straightaway heading up into turn 1, and turn 1 is a very interesting corner in itself. Almost every year in the Sebring 12 hour, there is a crash on the initial start or on a restart at some point in the race. This year, in fact, there was almost a very hairy incident right on the start with the split classes. Don't have a split start tonight, but we got a pretty big field.
Yeah, I'm surprised with the turnout tonight. This is awesome. These guys, they really show out a lot more for the road races, and that's what this league is really centered around. But going back to turn 1, it is hairy. It is very scary at times. I'm very interested to see how all 24 of these guys handle turn 1 on the initial start of this race. Kind of makes me want to hop into a session later just on my own with the ARCA car and see how it really drives. How well I could do, which probably not well because I'm not a road course racer, but this section of the track is tricky. It's all tricky in all reality.
These corners, though, do lead to a very crucial part in the overall lap time, at least in GT cars, so I would assume it would follow here, and we see these guys all veering out way wide there into that right-hander. Saw that a lot in the practice session that I was watching. It's become more and more of a trend, actually, in the IMSA races, and they're, of course, going to use it all tonight.
My first virtual 12 hours Sebring, I had to learn that quick. And also have to learn how to drive this track in the rain. No rain in the forecast for this race. The biggest, hardest corner for me to master, and I still don't understand it, is this one right here. The final corner before they get to the start-finish line. It is so tough to manage. And these guys, they get to manage it as the last corner they come to as the pace car is in. The green flag's out. We're underway here at Sebring in the heat race. Very orderly through turn 1. Whatever.
Quite a few guys are going to drop the right sides.
A lot of fanning out there. And how about Campbell getting up to second? It's a very clean start.
Yeah, only a few guys towards the back of the pack went off course at all so far on this opening few corners. Everyone just minding their P's and Q's on this opening lap for the heat race.
Have a check. He's holding off Joseph Klein right now. Jay Bast coming up into the picture.
You mentioned Campbell getting the second position away from McCoy. I think McCoy was very cautious there on that start. I was expecting him to be a little more aggressive into one. I just led him to not be in contention by the time they got to turn 2 and 3.
Yeah, I agree. For sure there. But Campbell, he's holding his own. McCoy is, I mean, sticking right there with him, too. Is Campbell going to take a wider approach? Might have been too wide. McCoy to the inside.
Thought it was going to be a complete clean lap for the entire field, but going through the field as they went down the backstretch, Robert Brobst has the front clip torn off completely of his number 5 car.
Oh, man. I don't know if we'll be able to find it. We'll try. It happened like right after the green flag. That was turn 1. And oh my goodness, big stack up. Aaron Bray, Phillips. I think Sean Campbell kind of got into the back of Robert Brobst. And I don't see how that would make the nose fall off of the 5, but
I saw all that happen. Yeah, I didn't even notice it at first. I was too busy watching guys off in the grass. I didn't even see that happen. He's definitely fighting the handling of his car compared to everyone around him. Not able to hook up probably the front of the car the way he wants to. I saw him really struggle through turn 17, coming around to the front straightaway to complete lap 1 when I noticed it. And he's having still a rough time getting around some of these longer sweeping corners.
It does not look fun.
Quite a big gap between Aaron Bray in front of him to the front of his car, Josh.
Oh yeah. Gap is well, math is hard, but about 5 seconds is the gap. Oh! Sean Campbell goes extremely wide. We're 3 wide with Mark Royce and is that Dylan Butler? That is.
Sean Campbell going to keep a tidy line to the inside, but a crossover from Tom, or excuse me, that was Mark Royce. Couldn't get the power down into this contact into turn 3.
This is battle for 17th, 18th.
There's just a spin behind these guys. Jacob Phillips in the 56 went around for a quick little loop. He's back going. No harm, no foul there. Oh, the 21's going to go spinning into the hairpin. Luckily doesn't get hit.
It's Greg Rogers.
Going to get it fired back up. Take a little bit of a scenic route.
See what happened to his Toyota. Just a casual spin there.
That's very common at Sebring, that corner. Originally was a lot more harsher of an extra hairpin, but it still pretty much races like one and gets very feisty down there. A lot of OG bogie, Josh.
We got a battle between Laura Wiseman and Chuck Labano.
I've been watching this
Actually.
battle as well.
James Moore also in that battle as well. Wiseman,
Yeah,
he's on the outside.
Wiseman and Labano had been battling, and they have caught James Moore the last half lap or so.
Oh my goodness.
Looked like Moore was gonna get out of the way there, but he put up a fight in 1, put up a fight there in 3, defends the 84.
Oh, off of the grass.
Oh, he goes wide. It's gonna set up for a very hairy hairpin corner.
2x2. Talladega was last week, guys. Oh man.
That went a lot cleaner than I anticipated.
Yep.
But it's just bringing more guys into this fight. This was a 4-car battle. Now it's about looking like 6 or 7.
Daniel Ott. He's coming into the picture.
Dive bomb.
Ott still looking to try to get around Wiseman. Being patiently aggressive rather. And look at Labano. Chuck Labano's right there. All the while, McCoy and Campbell still battling for second place. McCoy losing a little bit of time to Campbell there, but McCoy actually the fastest car that last time by. Telemetry that you guys see say there's 4 to go. Telemetry on my right side says 5 to go. But remember, this is timed race. We're sitting at 6 minutes remaining here in this sprint race.
Josh's battle for 8th continues. They went 2x2 through turn 1, almost 2x2 in 3. They're setting up again to just be stacked up like crazy in the hairpin. James Moore continues to defend off Laura Wiseman. And here comes Daniel Ott to her outside. Ooh, got back into line. Thought he was going to cross over the 84, but they're all going to go in single file and orderly. And Moore a little bit wide through there.
Oh my goodness. Wiseman wants the 8th position. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Moore got loose and here comes Ott. Forcing his way through. And he's going to try to get 2 for 1 as he does.
Looked like Moore missed the corner and Laura Wiseman was wheel hopping at the same time. This is going to get hairy. They make it through cleanly so far. Still after very hectic laps.
Chuck Labano there. Wiseman settles in behind Labano. Moore gets way off of the rubble strips. Labano gets past Moore. And now Wiseman not quite clear.
Might boil over in turn 17.
That stack up behind them was Stoner and Stuart Johnson. As Wiseman is wide into the wall. Almost 3 wide there going into 1. They sorted out. These guys are battling for everything. They have more going to go off into the grass just ahead of Stoner. They're side by side. Stoner has the preferred line. And Wiseman has 10th place right in front of her. Of course, remember, that's the invert position. Stoner struggles. Wiseman struggles. They're side by side. Wiseman gets clear of Stoner.
And why we watch this? Daniel has driven 3 or 4 seconds away from this fight, and he was just part of this a lap ago.
Probably glad to be away from this fight too, the way these guys are battling. So, yeah, Stoner there. Wheel hopping into the corner.
Peter Stewart has put more acceptance in this fight as well in the 91. He had a few moments looking to the inside of Samuel Stoner, not able to get it done, stays in line, but in the 13th spot, trying to make a few last-ditch effort passes here with the closing laps. Oh, Wiseman all over the place off of 16, looking for some kind of run down the back chute.
Glad you know these turn numbers. This battle continues.
Some of them.
We are under 2 minutes, at 1:50. I believe Bali will get around to take another lap. At the position he is on track, and Wiseman slides there a little bit. Closing in on Moore. That is the invert position. Moore has it. Wiseman wants it, so does Stoner.
Issue in turn 17 this last time by. Robert Probst got into the 44. Mark Royce spun him completely out and then ducked into pit lane. 44 dropped quite a few spots after that.
Oh, man. Continue to watch this battle. It's just 5 cars under a blanket.
Daniel Ott went way off course just ahead of this battle. Gonna lose the little advantage he had over Chuck Labano.
Dustin Bali just took the white flag. There's 1 second remaining. Timer was expired, so we are officially on the last lap.
And the battle for second has stayed like this the entire heat race for the most part, Josh. We mentioned Ryan Campbell getting that good launch on the inside as they're going to go door to door now. He was able to take advantage of it for the entire heat race, but yeah, McCoy gets around. Up into back into P2 where he started.
And McCoy pulling away from Campbell. Something happened with Wiseman. Wiseman has fallen all the way down to 14th.
I just looked back at it, got off in the grass into turn 3, and looks like locked up the tires and just overshot it into the grass big time.
That'll do it. So entering the final corner, Dustin Bali started first, led all the laps. Checkered flag in the sprint race. It's Dustin Bali.
Big old drift off the final corner. The 14 car. Best SVG impression yet. Joseph Klein off of turn 17. I was about to key up calling a wreck the way he was drifting through there.
Some more able to hold on and get the 10th position. That'll start him on the pole in the feature race. Let's go and take a look at this drift by Klein. Oh my goodness. Wow.
We saw quite a few times in that heat race alone, people going wide, catching the wall, or just losing a lot of momentum down the first straightaway. He did that pretty impressively.
That was pretty incredible. Before we talk to our sprint race winner, I just want to remind you that Palm Rat Golf delivers classic styles in a modern fit that allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the course to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmratgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. That is palmratgolf.com. Let's go ahead and talk to our sprint race winner, Dustin Bali. Hey, Dustin, you led wire to wire there, and gonna have to go to the back, or well, 10th place for the feature event. But what did you learn there in the sprint race?
Oh man, I learned that I could still do this. I hadn't won a race since April of 24. It's been a long time. We're sprint or feature, so it was. I tell you what, for some reason, this seems to be the best handling car I've had in as long as I can remember. Just it did everything that I wanted to do. It braked perfectly. It turned in perfectly. I had all the grip in the world, even though the track's hot. It just seemed to. I'm not driving any different than I usually do. It just seems to be working tonight. So I'll take it.
Now, I'll tell you, when I saw that Sebring was on the schedule, I was super excited. I didn't know how these stock cars would handle on this track, but it just immediately excited me to the point where I was very much looking forward to this race. With that being said, how much preparation did you have coming into this race, and were you excited to visit this track?
Yeah, excited to visit the track. No, historically I've not done well here, and again, typically, whenever I've driven here, the car has been, really sliding around, a lot of snap oversteer. There was a little bit of that tonight, but just I don't know why everything just seems to be dialed in, but it feels good. So I did some laps on Tuesday, Wednesday night, and kind of got a little bit of practice in, but it didn't feel nearly as good as it is tonight. I was doing my qualifying, and usually I'm a half second ish off McCoy on a 1.5 minute lap, and I was much closer to him tonight. And then the more I kept pushing it, the it bit, and the car did what I wanted to do, and I was able to squeak out the pole, and I think that made the difference in the sprint race. But yeah, well, we're starting at the back, but I tell you what, I've already got the victory. The victory I wanted for tonight. So we'll just try and maximize the points for the feature, and see how far we can bring it up the field.
Sponsors, shout outs, who gets it done for you?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for broadcasting, sticking with us for all these seasons. Really appreciate it. I want to thank the league sponsor, Palmrat Golf, Evan Hubchak, for supporting us for all this time. And then personally, I want to thank my wife, Rebecca. We just celebrated our 13th anniversary on the 5th, so love you, babe. Parents, Tom and Deb, I know you guys are watching. Mother-in-law, Karen, anyone else out there watching, supporting me. I hope you enjoy the rest of the race.
All right. Congrats on that win, and congrats on 13 years.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck to you in the future.
Thanks, sir.
That was Dustin Bali, our sprint race winner. So now we head to the feature event, and it is going to be James Moore starting on the pole position. Of course, top 10, all inverted, 11th on back to, in this case, 24th. We'll start where they finished, but we'll go through the starting lineup anyway. James Moore, just mentioned on the pole. Daniel Ott will start in second. Chuck Labano in third. Sorry, I just completely lost everything. But Joseph Klein going to start in fourth. Matt Slosher in fifth. Jay Bass sixth. Evan Hubchak seventh. Ryan Campbell eighth. Michael McCoy ninth. And Dustin Bali will start in 10th.
Just missing out on the invert was Sam Ristorna, who will line up 11th. Peter Stewart lines up 12th. Larry Johnson 13th. Laura Wiseman alongside him in 14th. Aaron Bray in 15th, with Dylan Butler starting 16th. Greg Rogers in 17th. Christopher Logan starts the 75 at 18th. Chris Winslow in the 45 starts 19th. And rounding out the first 10 rows on the grid is Jacob Phillips in the 56 car.
Tom Lang going to start 21st. Sean Campbell 22nd. Mark Royce 23rd. And Robert Ropes will start in that 24th position. So, right now we're looking at a 95 degree Fahrenheit track temperature for the feature. Winds blowing from the south at 10 miles an hour. So it's kind of shifted from southeast, coming from the south. But yeah, this race longer than the sprint race. These drivers will have to pit once for fuel. Aaron Smith not in the race, so we will have a new winner on a road course this season.
Looks like Christopher Logan's dropping to tear the field. He didn't roll at all, really, from the grid. Now taking off, after asking everyone to pass him. So it looks like the 75 car is voluntarily dropping to the rear. You mentioned... Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I'm wondering if there was a penalty at all. But I'm not sure. Yeah, there was not. Go ahead, Adam.
As you mentioned, no Aaron Smith here on the grid tonight. So who's that leave the door open for? I think Dustin Bali could drive through this top 10. With James Moore starting on the pole position, We saw what kind of DRS train he caused in the heat race. Unless Daniel Ott can just easily drive by, which he was able to do in this heat race, he was able to get around into the 12 car. But I think it's going to be a dogfight, these opening couple corners between these guys. Knowing the pace is so sporadic between the top 10 of the field. We saw in that heat race how spread out everything got. And as is in road course racing.
You know, I see drivers that are up here like Chuck Labano, Matt Slosher. I think, you know, the winner could come from one of those two drivers. You've got Jay Bast as well. I think it's going to be very hard for Bali to run away with this one. Or just, you know, even get to the front. One thing I love about the invert is you don't know what's going to happen. You could think, I've got the fastest car. But if you don't get through the field from that invert cleanly, it doesn't matter how fast your car is at that point. I think Dustin can do it. I don't know. I think maybe one of these other guys have a chance to get up to the lead and start driving away once they get that clean air.
Another name I want to shout out real quick that can contend easily. Michael McCoy, we saw him in that heat race just kind of sit and ride and put the pressure on all race to get to second over Ryan Campbell. Didn't really work out until the last couple laps and then just drove away.
Yeah. He's one to keep an eye on as well. So they are entering, well, no longer entering, as they are in Sunset Bend right now. Pace car going to make that hard right-hand turn into pit road. And we are green at Sebring.
Big stack up at the rear of the field. Oh boy. Jay Bass missed the corner big time, Josh. He's way off. Several lanes deep.
A few
Quite
drivers
a few guys followed him in.
Side by side for second. Labano will take that battle. Chuck and Campbell. Moore still leading. Labano, Ott, Klein, and Slosher, the top five.
Oh, Sander Stoner spins. Going to be an innocent slide, but losing tons of track position and positions on the racetrack.
He was 11th when they took the green flag, at least.
He was, I think, right around there. He was keeping up with Dustin Bali through traffic.
Third place car. And maybe a new leader. Moore and Labano side by side for the race lead. Moore has
Labano
that inside line when they get to one.
That's what Labano used to get to the inside, was to get to the lead right there. Just drove around him into turn one. But I was going to say he had the inside advantage through the final corner and drove it flawlessly as we have battles throughout this entire top 10 into the turn 3.
Klein got there side by side with Moore, but Moore was able to hold on, takes second over all to himself, or keeps second all to himself, rather. He already had it.
Big crash in turn 3. 3 or 4 of them involved. Jacob Phillips is going to drive away from it, but Robert Bropes is there, spun out. So is Christopher Logan.
Oh. Oh my goodness. I believe that was Tom Wendt involved as well. Slasher and Daniel Ott battling.
They had a huge battle when you were looking at the replay. Josh went 3 wide into the tower turn, somehow got away with it scot-free, and it didn't look like any positions actually overchanged there.
Campbell trying to battle with Slosher.
Joseph Klein taking his drift line through turn 17, almost caught the wall this time though. And you mentioned that battle for 5th. Slosher gonna get by Daniel Ott, back by him into turn 1. Had a much better run through turn 1. Gonna bring back Brian Campbell to the back of the 29 car. As maybe not, as he went wide off a 3.
Yeah, Campbell actually going to be battling with
Bali.
Bali.
Mowing the lawn a little bit.
Track like Sebring has their own lawn team, lawn care team.
Joseph Klein has just gone around James Moore, and here comes McCoy to his inside. The 33 is up to 3rd.
It's just crazy. He is fast. It's Campbell and Ott battling, but Ott pulls ahead a little bit to get up there with Slosher. Slosher and Moore, nose to tail. Throw these 5 cars under a blanket.
Yeah, I was going to say this is looking like that heat race, Josh, where the 12 car was just creating DRS trades, essentially. Just cars stacked up on top of each other like they have in Formula 1. Big move, Campbell to the inside of contact in 17 right before the bridge. Going to open the door for Bali.
Those are 6th and 7th place cars. This Bali, he's going to try to go to the outside. And try is just the word.
Oh! Slosher had a much better turn 1, and Moore tried to chop him off in turn 2. Slosher took none of that into 3, gonna get around the 12. Here comes Campbell.
Oh, contact with Bali! And Ott. And I don't know how either one of them are still on track.
Exactly, those were crazy saves. Losing the car like that through Gurney Bend, that is hairy, and then doing it with another car, making contact like that, that's insane.
Bali's struggling to get through the field right now.
Oh, that's spinning!
Well, that's one way to do it.
Way too hot. Spun it right around into the tower turn. rejoins the field in front of Larry Johnson, so put him back to around 10th.
Was 7th. Is currently 10th. As a result of that battle for the race lead heating up. It's 3 cars all for the race lead. Labano, Klein, and McCoy. Chuck Labano, he had gotten the big win. Came on a road course. And he's looking to get another big win here tonight. He's got a couple of really fast drivers behind him, though, with Klein and McCoy. Go back to watching the battle, which is what is now for 10th. Daniel Law has it, and he's gonna struggle.
His tires are very angry at him, I believe, after that slide last lap.
Oh yeah, it's Larry Johnson right there.
He gets through tower turn cleanly this time. Ooh.
It's going to start pulling away as there's a battle between Rogers and Johnson. Rogers going to get ahead of Johnson. Dustin Bally, he's up to P6. We mentioned that it was going to...
Battle for the lead has gone wrong! I was just going to mention Michael McCoy has taken over second just a few corners ago, and he just ran over Chuck Labano into turn 1. Big damage on the front. Here comes Klein to find back.
Klein stays in line for now. He's got his car offset to the right of McCoy.
Keep showing the nose, and it's going to be McCoy shooting to the inside to defend. Not going to be close enough to make a move on Labano, though.
Here comes Matt Slosher. As McCoy and Klein go side by side just behind Labano. Klein takes it. For a minute. Still side by side for second.
Clear there. Klein had a huge run. See if McCoy's able to fight back at all with the front end punched in a little bit now.
Slide and off in the dirt. Barely for Klein. Not enough for McCoy to be able to capitalize on that. But you have 4 cars under a blanket right now for the race lead, and then it's Campbell not too far back, and Volley right there with Campbell. McCoy is still trying to get there. Labano still holding on for now. Klein slides a little bit.
This is really bringing the entire field back together.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
We're not on pace laps. These guys are racing, and this is just the intensity of it.
Oh, Labano very, very all over the place with the rear of that car. And Klein is just showing the nose, fading everywhere. We might be 3 wide here.
Klein gonna get the lead. McCoy also wants to get past Labano as well. He feels like he can, but not gonna be able to as Klein starts to drive away from Chuck Labano now. McCoy to the inside. Nope, never mind.
You mentioned Slosher being right there. Now he's putting up with on the pressure on the 33 car.
These guys, they do have a pit stop they have to take for at least fuel. When do you come in? As we are now just under 20 minutes to go in this race.
If you're one of these guys, I would pit way sooner than anyone else just to get out of the hornet's nest. Hopefully you blend out on empty track and just able to click lap time. Even if you don't blend out on an empty track, it's not as heavy traffic as this. It would be cars you could pass, I would think.
And other drivers have to come down pit road. Jay Bast, Dylan Butler, and Daniel Ott down pit road right now.
McCoy, big lunge. Oh, missed the 14. Almost spun it out. Side by side through the S's into the chicane.
And McCoy has to go around the outside. Labano does as well.
McCoy just went from 3rd to 1st in one corner, essentially. As Joseph Klein did his Shane Van Gisbergen drift at the wrong time and almost looped it from the lead. Great job keeping the car underneath him, though.
This is absolutely incredible. With the cars 1st through 6th separated by 2.5 seconds. That's just mind-blowing to me.
You were mentioning Dustin Bally a few laps ago. He cut off an entire second the last lap alone. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like this time around for him, as he's essentially in the picture now.
The one bad thing, though, Adam, McCoy has that lead. He's got that clean air. He's now going to start just putting laps together and seeing if he can run away with this. And he is starting to. He's got a 7.
Slosher. Sorry to cut off, but Slosher's going to be the first one of these guys to make that trip down pit road. You already mentioned the names who came down this last lap.
Smart move. Oh, man.
Here comes Klein inside of the hairpin, not close enough. Looked like he was losing the rears into braking again there into the hairpin corner. But a great run on exit. Wow. Just drove right by Chuck Labano on the outside.
That was a great pass there. see if these guys respond to Slosher pitting.
And where Slosher rejoined the track, he did join back into traffic, but it is very spread out and nothing like the front of the field is right now with the way they're racing.
Chuck Lomano has fallen into the clutches of Ryan Campbell, who has the nose to the inside. Lomano is super wide.
14's pitting,
Oh
it looks
my
like,
goodness.
as is Labano and the race leader.
Oh, Lomano hits the inside wall. And bounces back to continue going like nothing happened.
Looked like he locked up Josh and is just carrying way too much speed. Wonder if he got it to pit speed at all, to the pit limiter at all there, right at the cones, right where that wall ends.
And it was very quick stops for Klein and McCoy. Klein actually gets out ahead of McCoy. And just ahead of Matt Slosher. Dustin Bali was behind Ryan Campbell and has gotten past him.
Takes over the provisional lead, but like you mentioned, these guys up front still have yet to pit. As they are duking it for what will become the race lead. Slosher to the inside of Klein. Klein a corner ago was looking toward the inside of McCoy. 14 slid through that corner again. Going to tuck back in line behind the 400.
Was a great move by McCoy. And then Slosher. And I'm wondering if he can get up there to challenge with McCoy. And is Bali going to pit? He is. Campbell does as well.
Laura Wiseman's going to pit behind them as well. So it will be everyone in front of the race leaders yet to pit. Going to cycle the 33 back to the front.
Oh, Campbell overshot his box. Left side tires for Bali. Let's see where he blends. He is rolling. He's at the cone. You see the leaders passing him. Second, third. Going past the rest of the cones. Going to get back out on the track. It's going to be fourth place for Dustin Bali.
And that's something we haven't touched on yet, this broadcast, is pit exit here. Very, very easy to do what happened on that opening lap from Jay Bass, where you just go way too wide and just send it off into the grass. Or the opposite, go too narrow and get lost into traffic, get blended in and cause a wreck or something like that. We haven't seen anything like that through this green flag cycle.
Thankfully not, and it is a very tricky pit road to get off of. I remember the first time I was practicing for the iRacing 12 hours at Sebring. You commented that you were frustrated watching me get off pit road for the way I was doing it, and I did not realize how wrong I was doing it at first. But it was just learning from my mistakes there, and these guys have done an incredible job at getting off pit road, at least from what we have seen thus far. But it is tricky, and yeah, luckily no big issues.
you were mentioning, if Slosher could get up there and challenge McCoy, not really driving away from Klein though. It looks like some corners Slosher has the advantage, and then other parts of the racetrack, Klein reels him back in and starts showing the nose. But they're going to have to decide this quick because Bali has quickly caught them on this pit exit lap.
Yeah, and Bali did take the 2 left side tires. Longer pit stop than the 3 in front of him. It's going to be easy to get that pass done on Klein as Klein goes in the grass. Let's put Bali into P3.
Mentioned the right sides on his car. I believe the first car with 4 fresh tires is Chuck Lobano in 7th, but way back 12-13 seconds behind this fight.
I think it might be Jay Bast. Jay Bast had a 14-second pit stop.
That explains what I saw last lap then. He was on his out lap, and he and James Moore got into it, and they both came over the radio at each other. It looked pretty... There was definitely contact, but it didn't look that major.
So I'm going to guess fuel only for the first 2, and Klein as well. And 2 tires for Bali. We know that it's the case for Bali and 2 tires. Literally saw that pit stop. But time-wise, with everybody else being pretty close to Bali's time, but a little bit shorter, that's what leads me to believe that it was fuel only for those 3. So, telemetry, what you guys see on screen, 6 to go is what it's saying. We are officially at 9 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Coming back to what the timing is saying for 5 laps to go. Is there enough time for Bali to use those fresher left side tires to get up to Slosher and McCoy?
I think there is. I think, honestly, this 400 car, since he lost the pressure of Joseph Klein, has started to reel in the 33 little by little. Well, what's it going to do when Bali gets right to his back bumper, which something hasn't happened yet?
And I just want to point out, Dustin Bali, fastest car on track that last time by, and oh yeah, just set the fastest lap as well. Almost a second faster than your race leader.
These guys running 2nd and 3rd, definitely looking a lot faster than the 33 you mentioned. The speed there, they just look a lot tidier around the track right now. Mentioned Dustin did in his interview after the heat race win, just how slippery this track gets, and we see that out of the 14 car behind him, how all over the place Joseph Klein is every corner seemingly, and that's what this track's notorious for, getting hot and just no grip. But the 24 looks very hooked up right now.
Yeah, he's just doing an incredible job as Dustin Bali. Might struggle to find a place to get around Slosher through here. As, you know, this track, it's not really all that wide. Wide enough, but it can be really hard to try to find a passing zone here. And I would imagine especially with these heavy stock cars. Slosher got a little loose. Bali's there. Gonna peek to the inside, entering turn 1. Dustin Bali
No
gonna
way did it find that.
Easily get the second spot.
Ooh. Almost threw it away just as easily though, as Slash is gonna lose the rear end into turn 3. good save not to spin it like we've seen quite a few times tonight. But Bali there with a big moment off the exit of turn 1 through the grass, almost threw it right away. Let's see what he can do though now that he is clear of the 400, trying to run down our leader.
These two finished 1-2 in the sprint. Rolls reverse though, with Bali out front and McCoy in second. And it looks like they will finish 1-2 here in the feature. Maybe. But is it going to be Bali on top again? I think he's got the tire and the speed to do so. Does Bali. Got a 3-car battle for the 6th position. Got Moore, Labano, and Campbell. 6th, 7th, and 8th. That'd be Ryan Campbell in the 18. So Labano rolling up to Moore. Tried to, at least.
Crashed just in front of the leaders. The 54 is stopped in the hairpin wall. It looks like it's stuck. The leaders are going to get there in about 5 seconds, and he's going to be pulling back onto the track. It's Sean Campbell. Back rolling. Not in the preferred line, but kicking up grass just in front of the leaders. Going to split across the right in front of Michael McCoy. A little moment there.
Oh.
Almost into Slosher, too. I just went back to look at what happened. Looked like Sean Campbell just sent it in way too hot into the hairpin. Held up the 45 and 5 a little bit of contact with the 45 actually. Who slowed down for the incident, and then just trying to refire. The 54 was there, and it just created a bigger mess for poor Sean Campbell, who just couldn't find the right way.
James Moore off track. Bono gonna get past Moore. There might have been a little hip check there between Moore and Campbell. Moore is right on the tail of Chuck Labano. These guys have been battling what seems like all night.
Between the heat and the feature, definitely.
Back up front for the race lead. Bali needs to get there quickly. 1.5 minutes left in this feature event.
I think they'll get back to the line before time runs out.
Yes, they definitely will. So we'll have one more lap after this. But McCoy actually extending that lead. He's faster than Bali just by a hair that last time by.
Ball, he's so close to that wall entering turn 17.
So 30 seconds left. The white flag will be displayed. And we are on the final lap here at Sebring. Once again, McCoy faster than Bali and has extended the lead to a 1.2 second lead. Can Bali do anything?
I don't think he's close enough. Like you mentioned, 33's been a little bit faster these last few laps. Last lap, he was about half a second faster, a little bit larger than that actually. So he's just got to keep it steady here. But there is lap traffic. I've been watching these cars the last few laps. I honestly didn't think they would get there. But they are going to catch the 45 just ahead of him, Chris Winslow, and then Jacob Phillips in the 56. Do they play a factor in this last half lap?
Very well could. Winslow right ahead. Winslow stays to the driver's right. Bali also gonna get around Winslow. Next car up ahead is Jacob Phillips, as you mentioned. I'm not so sure Phillips will really be caught at all. We've got that long straightaway coming up. And then the final corner. Bali has closed the gap though. Just think it might be too little too late at this point in time. Sunset Bend. Final corner. McCoy. Gonna get off cleanly. Bali's there. Not close enough though. Checkered flag waving. It is Michael McCoy here at Sebring.
Bali really threw it into Sebring there, or into Sunset Bend, the last chance there here at Sebring. Not able to get close enough, like you mentioned. What a drive for everyone in this top five. The whole field did a great job at this racetrack with these type of cars here. Not suited for this style at all. And that was a phenomenal show for most of that feature up front.
We're still having some close battles to the end. That was incredible. Great job to McCoy. This Aaron Bray, Peter Stewart. Bray is ahead. And he's gonna hold position. Aaron Bray will get 13th. Michael McCoy doing donuts. Yeah, best tasting donuts are down at Sebring International Raceway.
burning down the original hairpin corner down there.
And he was doing a lot of donuts down there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results. It is Michael McCoy with the race win. Dustin Bally just coming up a little bit short, finishes in second. Matt Slosher finishes third. Joseph Klein in fourth. Jay Bast fifth. Chuck Labano sixth. Ryan Campbell seventh. Laura Wiseman eighth. James Moore ninth. And Dylan Butler finishes in 10th position.
Daniel Rock crossed the line in 11th. Greg Rogers 12th. Aaron Bray got that finish, like you mentioned, over Peter D. Stewart 13th and 14th. Larry Johnson 15th. Evan Hubchak in 16th. Mark Royce 17th. Tom Wendt rounds out 18th. Robert Probst survives after a bunch of craziness all night for him on the lead lap in 19th, and Jacob Phillips rounds out those on the lead lap just in front of the race leader, finished 20th.
Chris Winslow finishes 21st, one lap down. Sean Campbell also one lap down in 22nd. Samuel Stoner, not the night he wanted to have, 8 laps down, 23rd. And Christopher Logan, 11 down in 24th position. So we have some interviews to do. But real quick, before we do, Palm Rack Golf delivers classic styles in a modern fit that allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the course to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmrackgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. Let's see, we've got 3 drivers in the interview waiting room, and I'm going to assume Dustin Bally is declining an interview, passing his interview to Joseph Klein. That is something that Dustin Bally has done before to allow other drivers to have the spotlight. And I'm going to guess, I haven't seen a message, but I'm going to guess that is the same case here. With Klein in the interview waiting room and Bally still up in the hangout room. So let's go ahead and talk to Joseph Klein, our 4th place finisher here tonight. Hey Joseph, it's the boys up at the booth. It was a 4th place finish for you, but what a night. You were really fast tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it. Oh, I had a blast. I just joined this league a few weeks ago. I missed Talladega last week because I was on my way home. I missed it by like 2 minutes, so I was like, dang it, man. But, yeah, when I saw this league, I was like, stock cars at road courses. And, you know, this ARCA car is pretty fun to turn left and right in. Maybe not Sebring. I love Sebring. Sebring's like one of my favorite tracks, but it is so bumpy.
Yeah.
And I just kept lighting up the rears everywhere, so.
Yeah. This track I was really excited to see on the schedule. It is something different. But the one thing that I have noticed with this league, being the broadcaster, is they like doing different in the track selection, and so this was an immediately circle, a track that I circled, but it was a pretty good night for you. Did some, as Adam liked to say, some SVG slides. How much? I mean, you were talking a little bit just a minute ago about the rears really hurting you, but how much did that continue to hurt the rear tires as that was happening?
Just under, I don't know. Like on my screen, I kept messing up. I was just telling them I kept messing up the hairpin. Um, when there's no cars in front of me and no cars in the rear view, I will hit it perfect every single time. And then when I'm under pressure, I just absolutely cook it because I'm trying not to run people over or like slow down too much to where people are getting super checked up. And like I could feel it hopping, and I'm like, this is going to be a terrible drive off. But I never got ran over because everyone was actually very respectful. So yeah, ultimately, just me being antsy and getting on the loud pedal too soon, and I mean, you can hear it, you can feel it. They just light up and slide everywhere, and but yeah, ultimately gave the lead away. I was surprised I beat, I think, Michael off pit road. He beat me in by like a second, and I beat him out by like half a second. But pretty much anytime I made a mistake, I just kind of got out of the way, and I didn't want to slow them guys down too much. Like I still fought for what I believed was mine until it was like way out of reach, and I was like, ah, we're just riding at this point.
Well, sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
I'll give a shout out to you guys for putting on a broadcast. I know Monza wasn't broadcast, but it's all right. I didn't even know there was a broadcast. Um, uh, Dustin for giving me an invite to the league. Everyone else in the league that runs here. Like I said, I'm very new, so I don't know everybody yet, but I do enjoy the group of people that we get to race with. I like the sprint and the feature and the invert and all that. So give a shout out to my primary league, First Gear Racing, if anyone's watching. I shared it with them. I don't know if they're watching or not, but that's about it.
All right. Well, congrats on the fourth place finish, and looking forward to seeing you around next week. Which I
Yep, appreciate it.
don't remember where
Where's
it's at.
that gonna be?
I want to say Indy.
Yeah,
Indy. It is. So, all right.
Sweet. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Have a great night.
You too.
That was Joseph Klein, fourth place finisher, rather. And Adam, I believe you have third place finisher, Matt Slosher.
Hey man, it's the guys in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I got you.
Well, that was fun. A lot of fun for us to watch. What was it like behind the wheel of the 400 car, in the middle of all those pit strategies there at the end, and being in the mix here at Sebring?
Yeah, it was very fun to be part of it. Really tricky and really difficult to maximize your lap times. There's just so many places you can make small mistakes and slide around, and the grip is like very variable in different parts of the track, and the tires are screaming at you. But yeah, it was fun battling with everyone. I tried to pit a little early to maybe undercut and get back out in front, but it didn't work, and I ended up behind those guys again. And passing was so difficult. I was just not. I needed a little more pace and a little more ability to maybe outbrake people, but tried to just drive a smooth race and minimize mistakes. And yeah, I was lucky to get a third place there.
We saw in the sprint race you kind of ran quiet but respectable in the top 10. Pretty much finished where you started in that race, but you moved up quite a bit, quite fast in this race, and stayed up there the entire time. Did you pick up something there in the sprint that you carried over into the feature?
Yeah, honestly, going into the sprint, I did not really have a great rhythm on the track. I just didn't get enough practice in to be able to have a really comfortable rhythm. In the sprint, I tried to work on just getting a good rhythm so that I could make good lap times and not get too obsessed with battling or anything like that. Just try to hold my position and be able to start the feature in the top 10. And yeah, I was able to learn for myself how to get the most out of the car that I had. And I think it helped me finish third in the feature because I was able to run some consistent laps and hang with those guys at the front a little bit.
And you mentioned the little bit of pit strategy you played. We were watching that. We were debating when people might try and pull off and pit, and I called out your pit stop. I thought that was a good strategy play. Was it just the tire difference there at the end that had those guys pull away, or was it overall finding everything with this track?
Um, yes, I think at the end just I think I just my tires were hot and I could not run the lap times those guys were anymore. I don't know if the earlier pit stop hurt me. I think it if anything it might have helped me just get into some clean air for a minute before the other guys came back out. But I didn't change tires, so I was able to just kind of keep going with that. But I think towards the end they did start to wear out on me. So it was tough, but yeah, luckily third place was in the cards.
Who do you want to shout out and thank with a podium finish here tonight?
Yeah, thank you to Dustin for hosting the league. Shout out to JCTV. Thanks for the broadcast. Congrats to Michael and Dustin for their podium. And shout out to everybody that was racing around. It was a lot of good racing out there, a lot of fun. I think that's it.
Well, congrats on the podium run tonight. Good luck at Indianapolis next week.
All right, thank you.
That was our third place finisher, Matt Slasher, with our podium result here at Sebring. Turn it back over to Josh in Victory Lane.
And I have race winner Michael McCoy. It was a hard fought win for you, Michael. You started the feature in ninth position after finishing second in the sprint race. You quickly made your way up to the front, but it didn't seem like it was very easy.
No, it wasn't. It was really tough to follow cars in like the medium speed corners. I didn't realize like how bad the air wash in front of from the car ahead was going to affect you, and I just thought like maybe the track was a little slipperier than I realized. But then as soon as I cleared the car ahead, like it would grip up like I would expect. So yeah, it was pretty difficult.
Well, you had a lot of battles with Klein, with Bali. Even some other drivers got up in the mix there later on. Now, one thing Klein mentioned when we were interviewing him was that you had entered in pit road ahead of him. He came out ahead of you. Were you worried at all after that sequence happened that, with him just a little bit ahead of you?
Not really, because I knew he was kind of suffering with his rear tire grip, especially on the exit of the hairpin, and I think that's actually where I got him on like that same lap or the very next lap. I screwed that up, that pit stop. Like I fueled for like a safety lap, and because I ran out of fuel at Road Atlanta, and then I lost a position. But I was like, if I could just stay with him and get past him on these next two laps, I should be fine. And then all of a sudden, Dustin appeared in my rear view.
When Dustin did appear in that rear view mirror, he was closing in too. Was there any sense of urgency for you to drive a little bit harder to try to pull away?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I didn't realize where he was at first, because for the longest it was Matt following me, and then all of a sudden Dustin appeared, and he was like suddenly like a half second behind, and I was like, I got to find some more speed, and so I just like tried to focus in and not look at my rear view mirror, not look at the relative, and just keep my head down. And then I saw it got stretched out to like a little over a second, and then I want to say like the last two laps, he started to come up upon lap traffic, so I was a little worried about that, but it worked itself out.
Sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for that winning number 33 machine?
Sponsors, I gotta think Dano's Designs, Dan Ott Liveries. Like he makes like some awesome liveries. He's down to do whatever for me, and he gets it turned around really quick. And I guess our series sponsor, Evan Hoopchak of Comrade Golf. Thanks for sponsoring the league and allowing us to do this and having a great broadcast. And that's it.
All right. Congrats on the race win, and we'll see you next week at Indianapolis.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. That was race winner Michael McCoy here at Sebring. Adam, it was a pretty fun race. I knew it would be. I didn't anticipate, as you were calling them, the DRS trains that we really saw here tonight. I knew these guys would still find a way to put on a great show. They did. Not disappointed at all. But still, I am left a little bit surprised with some of the things tonight. What were your takes from this race?
Yeah, you mentioned the batters there. That's something we see quite often with stock cars on road courses, especially less familiar ones that the series usually typically race at. I was not expecting that tonight, honestly. I was expecting a lot of spread out racing, a lot of mistakes overall, and people not able to put together clean laps. And we got the opposite of that. We saw very limited mistakes leading to all those battles for position, looking like they're all stacked up, trying to get like a toe off each other. And it reminded me of a little bit of Mazda racing here, the MX-5 Cup races here, especially some of those battles into the hairpin or turn one. Got really argy-bargy at moments.
Yeah, it did. These guys, they must be fans of IMSA, and putting on that argy bargy, and just what a great race. That was incredible. And next week it is we've mentioned Indianapolis, but it is the Indianapolis Road Course, which is pretty exciting road course as well. Again, I'm not really sure how stock cars. Well, we know how stock cars are going to fare on that. I'm not sure how these guys are going to fare on that road course, but it'll still be fun nonetheless. Looking forward to that as always. Whenever Road Plate does race, so. We have playoff action starting for the BSR Grid Network Truck Series on Saturday night. They kick off the playoffs at Homestead Miami Speedway. They had a couple of really good Talladega races on Saturday last week. And you catch that action right here on JCTV at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Other than that, it's going to be 1 week from tonight where the Road Plate Palmer Golf Series drivers take on the Indianapolis Road Course. And that'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on JCTV. So that's going to do it from us here at Sebring. Adam, thank you so much for coming into the booth and calling this race with me. And so on behalf of Adam Kuhn and the entire outstanding crew at JCTV, I'm Joshua Copperl signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.